Hello, welcome to 10 Minute English. My name is Chelu and I will be your host and guide in this adventure of learning English. Today's lesson is about two very important words in English, good and well, that students often use wrongly. Why is that? It's because good is like the star of the movie, like the leading actor, and he's taking all the spotlight. So even many people that are native of English are using good instead of using well, and that's how it gets difficult for the non-native English students, English learners, to get it right. Because if you hear an American or British person saying it wrong, you say, okay, they must know it because it's their language. Okay, so I will start the lesson today by writing a wrong example on the board, an example that I heard yesterday in my class. So, one of the students was saying, my father speaks English good. Okay, so although it may seem correct to you, it is not. Yeah? Ask the question, how does my father speak English? So, how does my father speak? I'm asking you to describe an action. I'm asking you to describe how your father speaks. So, with this word that is not good, it must be well, you describe the action of speaking. Your father's speaking, okay? You don't say anything about your father. You don't describe your father. You don't speak about the qualities of your father. You don't say a sentence that is something like, my father is a good cook. In this case, good being very well used, yeah, here in front of a noun, this is a noun, and this is the adjective. And I'm speaking and I'm describing my father, and I'm saying that he's a very good cook. He cooks very well, yeah? He's a very good cook. He's not a bad cook, he's a good cook, okay? So I'm describing a person, in this case, and this word, the adjective, is modifying or is describing something or somebody, okay? So the first thing that we have to know about good and well is that one of them is an adjective and the other one is an adverb. Yeah, okay, let's see. We divide the board in two. Okay, here we have good, that is an adjective. This means, okay, let's put it here, is adjective. Adjective, okay, and well is adverb. Okay. Now, if you get confused with these two explanation, adjective, adverb, okay, don't get stressed because you have to know what they are doing. So in this case, good is describing, yeah, describes a person, thing. So it can be a person, a human being, an object, a thing, situation, something in general, something or somebody, etc. Okay? In the case of the adverb, we speak about describing an action. So we say describes an action. Look at this example again. My father speaks English well. How does my father speak English? So I'm asking you to answer this question. No? So I'm speaking about my father and I say, how does my father speak? So I will describe the action of speaking. My father speaks English well. Okay? So describes an action. Good. No more theory definitions. Let's go with more examples. Okay, so here I live in a good city. Okay, I'm describing the city. How is the city? The city is good. I'm living in a good city. Okay, she has a good car. Again, I'm referring to the noun. What do you notice, dear students? Okay, for those of you who are at the medium level, this is never a problem, but for the others that are just starting, notice that good is always placed before the noun, before the word that it describes. So good describes the city, speaks about the quality of a city. Good describes the car in this example. It's always placed before. Okay? So we can say that good, being an adjective, is placed before a noun. Okay? Good. Let's see the wrong examples, the incorrect example, that this way you will have a more clear idea of what you shouldn't or you mustn't do. So, if I say, by translating from my language to English, because this is happening to most of the students, I live in a city good. No way. Okay? Even though word by word in your language this could be correct, here it is not. Remember that good comes before the noun, the word that it describes. Okay, in the case of well, we already know that it's an adverb, and what does it mean? That it will describe an action, like here. My father speaks English well. More examples. I speak to a friend of mine and I say, you drive well. You drive well. So I'm describing the action of driving. My friend's driving, you know. How is he driving? My friend, you drive well. Okay? I'm not saying that you are a good person. No, I'm saying that you drive well. Okay? Other examples. My mom or my mother treats people well. Okay? Again, with well, I'm describing an action, how my mother treats people. What I learned from my mother treats people well. Okay? They play football well. Okay? football. Okay. Three examples where you can see that well, as any other adverb, is describing an action. You drive well. How do you drive? You drive well. My mother treats people well. How does my mother treat people? Well. I'm not speaking about my mother being good person. She is, but no, here it's like, this is the verb. Okay, this is the verb. I will put a V here. Yeah, okay. And this is the adverb, okay? And the last example, they play football well. How do they play football? They play football well. So, this is the first part of this lesson with good and well. And the first part is about understanding the difference between the good as an adjective and well as an adverb. And this will help you along your years of studying English in making a difference with other adjectives or adverbs, because it's a confusion. So, speaking about good as an adjective, we say that it describes something or somebody. Okay? A thing, a situation, a person, okay. While well, it describes an action. Okay. We have several examples, no? I live in a good city. I'm describing the city. The city is good. She has a good car. I'm describing the car. The car is good. Okay? It would be totally wrong saying I live in a city good, so avoid translating, because in your language, word by word, it may be okay, but in English, no. So the adjective, in this case good, must be before the noun that it describes. Okay. Now, going back to well, it describes an action. It tells me how the characteristics of an action, not of a person, of a thing or a situation. No, we speak about an action, a verb. Okay, so look at these verbs: drive, treat, play. I said, you drive well. How do you drive? You drive well. My mother treats people well. Okay, they play football well. I'm describing how you drive, how my mother treats people, and how they play football. Okay. In the second part of our lesson, you will see the most important difference between good and well. And what do I mean by that? Is where we get it wrong most of the time. So this is the easy part of the lesson, where people understand the difference between adjective and adverb. And then I will kindly ask you to pay attention to the second part in another video, where you will see the mistakes that we commit when we speak. In conclusion, we have two words, good and well, that confuse us a lot. It's a mess practically for the students, because they don't really know when to use good or well. Why? Because they hear it in the movies, and most of the times they in the movies is not the best language, and they use it wrong. One of the first examples is this: my father speaks English well, is speaking English good. This is what I heard yesterday. No, my father speaks English well. I'm describing how my father speaks. So I'm describing with well, I'm describing an action. I could say my father is a good cook, and in this case, I'm describing my father, no, as a cook. How is he as a cook? He's good. Okay? So, the example that we gave today, no? I live in a good city. Okay? I'm describing the city is good. She has a good car. I'm describing the car is good. Here, I'm describing actions. You drive well. I'm not speaking about you, a car or something. I'm describing this action of driving. You drive well. How do you drive? You drive well. My mother treats people well. How does my mother treat people? My mother treats people well. They play football well. How do they play football? They play football well. So I'm describing the action of play. Dear students, this was the first part of the lesson about good and well. If you like the video, please give us a like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Here you will have a lot of videos that you can choose from, and most important thing, these videos are based on a 25 years experience in education, working with students from different countries, and noticing that most of them, let's say 95% of them, are making mistakes in the same place or in the same moment, no? And all the lessons on this channel, or most of the lessons on this channel, are based on these mistakes. So don't forget to subscribe to see the latest videos that we are posting. Okay, thank you very much for your patience, and I'm looking forward to the next class with you.